up. Oops, excuse me. Should probably mute the mic when I do that. Okay. Whoops. I think it's hilarious that my Mac keyboard has 19 function keys. I think I maybe use 4 of them. Okay. Should be unmuted. I'll just double check really quick. Well, the chat channels I'm watching, they're talking about presentation being given at the Minnesota PHP meetup that is occurring at the Nerdery tonight. I think it's at the Nerdery. I know we were talking about having it like downtown or something like that, but I don't think that plan ever came about. My stream, my Twitch announcement should have gone out. It's Twitch is not responding at all. Let's make sure that other things are responding. Okay, good. Make sure that the audio is playing. Excellent. I'm sorry, Twitch is responding. Twitter is not responding. I load up the link and it's just not loading, so Twitter's probably down. Oh, the interwebs. The interwebs are going to be, there's going to be much wailing and gnashing of teeth. Okay, here we have, let me show you what we got so far. Oh, still got my countdown timer up. I think, yeah, I'd have to start up the services. I usually have it so that I have to start up my services manually. Should probably do a script that does it. My last jobs, our local dev environments, we had to have like a bunch of crazy local services running on our local dev machines. It was kind of the price we paid for not having to deal with a virtual environment. Although we probably could have gotten away with that too, but I wasn't around long enough for that plan to take fruit. The I had a script for starting up all the services, and there was like memcache and some kind of like proxy for intercepting SOAP calls and some other things as well too. Oh hey, look at that! It loaded up automatically. So this is actually like the generic authentication. So this is what you get when. Yep. So it requires a login. This is what you get when you initialize the authentication scaffolding that's present in Laravel 5.2. I haven't really made any changes to this yet. I just modified the redirect to was set to slash and it was hard coded in the class itself. So I took that out. It's declared in the class, but now instead of being set in the class, it's defined, and I have it properly set using the URL generator class so that it goes to the proper URL. Because on my system, the root of the project is localhost/Drexel. So slash wouldn't have worked for a redirect. And I didn't want to hard code Drexel into this either. That's the only change I made to it so far, and that was just setting up yesterday. Let's see what our git status looks like actually. Git status. Oh, yeah. we have to add that now. There, I forgot to commit that yesterday while I was doing the setup. The heck is going on outside? I know they're doing some street sweeping stuff, so we might hear some noises coming from them with regards to this. So this auth controller is automatically generated. That just changed the line. Couple of things that we want to do. First off, we're not going to do a register, so we're going to remove that link. We're going to create our users in a different way. I'll keep the view and maybe the controller, but I'm going to disable this link for now because users will be created by the admin. So let's find out where those. So let's find out where the default view is located. So this is. I hope that this is in a fragment somewhere, because then we can change one place. Who's hammering out there? God. Okay. That's one downside of using the file browser. Um, Resources, views, layouts. There we go. Boo! Inline styles. Alright, let's see. Fonts.google API. Why are we using Google API fonts? Okay. We're going to have to clean up this header a little bit. We're going to download and use locally sourced. So I will be downloading Bootstrap and Font Awesome and jQuery, and that's what we're going to be using in the project. Okay, so there's the link for register. Alright. Is there anything else? Alright, let's just get rid of that link then. Boom. Done. Okay. Now we didn't delete the page itself, but we did delete the we didn't delete the page itself, we just deleted the link. I'm going to change the name of this. Obviously, we're going to call it Drexel. There. And this is going to undergo some rapid changes. I mean, this is just temporary. We just want to kind of get it set up. Because we will definitely be using our own styles. Now, it doesn't look like we have any kind of app. Ink, Elixir, CSS. What's Elixir? So there's an app.css. Do we have an app.js? Don't think we have one yet. Let's go ahead and tab new. Edit. Is it assets? No, just CSS. Okay. SAS. Haven't really. Oh yeah, that's the sound of the street sweepers going on right now. Excellent. Good. I moved my car earlier today, so that means I won't have to move it at a later date because I was a little concerned that they were not going to get around to doing it today because the roads are wet. Where is app.css? Let's actually double check here. Inspect. See if it's even. Does it seem like I commented out? Okay, so it doesn't look like that there's an actual CSS. Alright. Because what we will be doing is we're going to keep it simple, stupid. I'm not going to bother with the whole assets folder or something along those lines. We are going to go ahead and create is that an Nginx config file? That looks a lot like an Nginx config file. Not that I care. We'll keep it. Doesn't hurt anything to have it in there. CSS, mkdir, JS, mkdir, fonts. There. So we have our three deals. Just get those files in place. Let's go to our site. So we're going to use jQuery Bootstrap Font Awesome, the holy trinity of front-end toolkits. I haven't decided if I'm going to use Angular. I probably won't, because the bulk of my updates are going to be, I think there's going to be a lot of kind of custom widgets being developed, and I don't know if Angular is necessarily the best fit. I might just do native jQuery just to give myself some finer control. Alright, where's the download button? Oh, right there. Yeah, we're just going to do native. I keep meaning to learn Sass and other things, and it doesn't look like it's really going to be that difficult, but oh, okay. Show in folder. I have a whole bunch of. I don't like this view. Detailed list view. There we go. Alright, so we got the latest version already, so I'll just kind of move that to the trash, yeah. So we got Bootstrap. I know we got jQuery. We got 222, which is the latest. We got Font Awesome 450. So let's double check those, make sure that we got the latest and greatest for those. Oh, 223. Okay, well, that's good. We'll do the compressed production. Or maybe we should probably do development version for now. Yeah, we can get both, because I don't think they'll override each other. Yeah, they're differently named. So here's a little trick I like to do whenever I cp jQuery 3.everything, boom, into this directory. Exit without an error there. Oh, it overrode them. Where am I from? I'm from Minnesota. Where are you from? PA is in Pennsylvania? Nice. I'm doing a Watch Me Work stream. I'm doing a little project. Yep. Link should be in the main chat. Yeah, you can load like Twitch stream in a separate window. As long as you got enough bandwidth for running both. Excellent. Alright. Okay. I love how the copy command, if you don't specify a second argument, it'll just overwrite one of them with the other. That's a little better. Okay. And now we just do this. ln minus x jQuery dot js. And we're going to do the development version. Boom. Somebody's still hammering outside and I don't know what they're doing. Alright. Next stop. Now we did check. What did we check? Okay, we got the latest version of jQuery. Bootstrap, okay. That was the one we were looking at. We got, yeah, 336. So what I had to do last time, I think I just, unzip. -T, download, bootstrap. Okay, it does copy it in its own folder. Remove the -T. I can kind of hear you. Your microphone's a little muffled. Hey. just going to copy bootstrap JS into JS, CSS into CSS, and fonts into fonts. Alright, then we can remove bootstrap. Alright, now font awesome, or awesome font. Or just font awesome. Okay. Oh, okay. I didn't need to. Dang it. Downloads. Hey, there you go. I can hear you. Yeah, it's because when I'm playing games, I tend to get a little blue. Huh. Are you logged in Twitch? Because I can view my stream in preview mode, and that's working okay. So I don't know why clicking on the button wouldn't bring you to my stream. Okay. What's I do? Oh yeah. All right, good. Now font awesome. We already have the latest copy of that. Let's see, it's the zip file as well. So -t. I think this also. Yeah. All right. And we just care about, well, the fonts obviously, and the CSS. We're not going to be compiling from SAS or anything like that. Okay, and that should do that. And now we go to our layout file. Elixir, why? Such a weird line. Alright, we're gonna, boom. Yank. Fix that. This isn't really necessary, but I like to do it anyways. Um, I think we're just going to delete that. I'm just going to wipe that out because we're going to be doing our own styles here. Zalsur, Zalasur. Yep, Zalasur. Not a problem. Double check to see if that worked the way I thought it would. Okay, we did lose our fonts, but inspect console, that looks good. Does the link look good? Yes. Alright, so we're good. Um, yeah. What's my favorite color of text? It kind of depends. I haven't really messed around with the styles yet. I'm probably going to do like a dark blue background with a light blue foreground for the text. Yeah, blue is going to be like the theme. I might have like a theming capability so people can pick their colors or whatnot. In case you didn't know, I'm working on making a web-based game. So the front end is going to be kind of like people can access websites and they can log in and multiple people can play the game. Or that's going to be the idea at any rate. 4X. So space conquering the universe, that kind of thing. There's a lot of 4X games. One of the classics is the Orion series of games. Masters of Zark. You've been eaten by a Gru. Alright. And nope, no errors. Okay, look at that, we're good. And last but not least, go down to here. Um, almost forgot. Should probably do app CSS, even though it's a blank file for now, but just want to get it in there. I didn't have any dinner last night. Not too much, no. We're gonna have breakfast here probably in a couple hours, so I'm not doing too bad. I got some Mountain Dew, so that's kind of keeping me going for a little bit. I kind of have a weird eating schedule that I've had for years anyway, so it doesn't really bother me too much. Well, don't do that. All right. Yeah, if you're feeling loopy, I like a. Sometimes I'll just, if I'm not really really hungry, but I'm still feeling a little, off, I'll have like a bag of chips or something like that. There we go. And paste. All right. Let's take care of those guys down there. Boo, commented out code. We don't do commented out code here. I wonder if that elixir is the deal that. Let's check into that. I have a sneaking suspicion I know what that is. Laravel elixir. Oh, it's for compiling less scripts or copy scripts or what have you. That looks like a pretty nifty utility. I'm gonna keep that in mind, but we don't need it here because we're not like compiling less scripts. We're just including, and we're not doing the min files here, at least not for development purposes. Boom. All right. This the chat channel that you're on. This is yeah, this is CubeTubers. It's kind of a group of streamers. I'm a member of the CubeTubers on Twitch, but they haven't added me to the site yet because they I haven't been around long enough yet. Um, it's just basically like group of streamers. We like to do independent games and all that. So you'll see like a lot of like weird, quirky streams. Random. I saw somebody was playing Dwarf Fortress on stream, and that's how I ran into Cintria, who's the founder of the QTubers. And so she was encouraging people to come join the chat channel, which is where you're on right now. And yeah, the rest is history. All right, sweet. Network. Oh, we don't have any network. It's just always a good idea to double check, make sure everything is loading correctly. That no 404s anywhere. Well, it says cached, not modified. That's fine. I'll have to put in. What I'll probably do here is I'm going to put in some version strings after the app.css here. All right. V equals, and I always do 2016 is the 4th month and the 7th. Yeah, it's the 7th day of the month already. Time is flying a little bit too quickly sometimes. All right. I should probably make that into a variable so I don't have to like constantly modify these things. All right, good. Putting the version strings afterward for this is a cache buster here. So if you have like cache version of your JavaScript file or your CSS file, Chrome is notorious for caching um, those types of files. And even if you modify them on the server, it doesn't necessarily mean that Chrome's going to reload them. So if you change the version strings, that forces Chrome to think that it's a different file, and it'll go ahead and reload the file. Because troubleshooting, when you're trying to troubleshoot something and you get a cache file, you make changes to your local file to try to fix the bug, and then all of a sudden, like, nothing's happening. It can be really frustrating. So it's always a good idea to make sure you always update your version strings. I'll come up with a more elegant solution than this. I think I might make that into a variable or something like that. So if I need to update it, I can just change the variable, and I'll bust the cache across the board. But otherwise, I think we're good. Let's go ahead and commit this. Edit, bootstrap, CSS, JS, cleaned layout. What am I doing? Font awesome, jQuery. Oops. There. Okay, now that we got that all cleaned up, we're going to continue working on this because this is by far not going to be the final version of what this file is going to look like, but we just got it kind of going. So I'm going to go ahead, we're going to close that guy really quick. What I want to do next is work on a seed script and seed the database, because what this is going to do, we took out the register page, which means that we can no longer create accounts anonymously, so people can't come in and create their own account on this. But the idea is that whoever's installing this, they'll run the script, and that will load up, the database user, and they can select their username and password that way, and then they can log into this page and create any user that they want. Now we're going to take a look at one of the pre-existing scripts here. Oh, no, don't. Didn't mean to exit out of the editor. There we go. Alright. Local database. Now, normally this is done via this way. I think it's... How did I do this in my other project? Let's go ahead and take a look. So I've done this before. Alright, let's go to local database, seeds. So I did have a database seeder. So like cat database seeder. So this was the part that kind of bothered me. I wonder if using namespaces. Let's just copy. We're only going to do the user, but I have to copy and paste the whole thing here. Boom. Oops. Control C. All right. Edit. Paste. All right. Now the user table seeder was very simple. Yeah. As we created a couple of default users. But we are going to do something a little different here. We're going to actually also set up the password in this guy. So go in here, edit, paste. Boom. All right. Yep. And yep. I don't think I need to include this. As this is actually require, I think, just basically takes this and it just kind of like includes it in it as a chunk of code. I could be wrong. Let's undo that really quick just to be on the safe side. I don't think it hurts anything to have multiple. I forget what the command is. Laravel is PHP artisan seed. Let's find out. I can spell. Let's just make cedar. Oh, right, see, PHP db.seed. And here's where I can do the individual files. Okay, so I definitely do want to include, because these files can be called separately. Great. Fantastic. Okay. Right. Exit. Alright, show tables. Alright, select splat from users. Okay, we don't have a password yet. Alright, now let's go ahead and change this. Don't don't think we're going to do a password now that I think about it. Now, I think it's bcrypt. We'll double check that though. Oops. No, no. And then test 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Alright. Try again. Alright. Now we should have an entry in there called Drexel admin with a password. This is the encrypted version of the password. Remember token. Okay. So we go into here. Alright, excellent. Hey, it wants to. The login expects an email address. Hmm. Let's change that to name. Alright. We're going to have to modify the login script. That's fine. I was planning on doing that anyways. I just forgot that I was going to do that. Local resources, views. Alright, auth, where are you? Login, hey, alright. Input type. And maybe I'll change that to just regular old admin. I'm kind of blanking. It is text. Okay. Just wanted to make sure it wasn't something weird like string or some damn thing or another. Name. Well, what's the name of the column? Name. Alright. That was weird. Okay. Name, username, value names, name value equals old name. Here's has name. First error with the name. Okay. And now that I think about it, we're just gonna call this guy admin, or maybe Drexel. Admin. They can go in and change it later on, but we'll just set it as the default. It's usually a good idea to change the username of the admin user because if you don't, people know like the username of the person that has super admin privileges on your system, and that's like half the battle in cracking into your system. So it's always a good idea to change the admin name. But as a default, that's fine. Okay. And now auth controller here. Okay. Get a validator for an incoming registration request. I don't think that that's the one we want. We want, let's go to here. App, TP controllers. Yeah. Password controller. I believe that is the one we want. Local app, blanking, HTTP, yeah, that's right. I don't know why they put the controllers in there. Yep, oops. Auth, password. That's the password reset controller. So that's not it. Where's the... Let's go to the login form. Where is form horizontal, role form, method post, action, URL login? So the login... controller, but there isn't an explicit login controller, at least not here. I know that there's a way. Authentication. That's 5.1. I want 5.2. Alright. This 5.2 is a little different. Okay, I'm just trying to see. Authenticated user instance. Oh, you know what? I think I remember how I did this last time. Yeah. So you basically have two options. You can log in via email or you can log in by user ID. Not by username though, which is kind of weird, but you can get around that. So let's go to local HTTP controllers app HTTP controllers, and I believe it was task controller. I can type. All right. It doesn't look right. That looks a little better. Okay. So it looks like what I have to do is I have to override the authenticate method, and then I can, yeah. Stateless HTTP. So resetting passwords. No, that's not right. Oh, I just have to do this. Alright, so let's override this. Auth controller, extends controller. Yep, that's all I have to do. Hopefully that works. Validator create. No, we'll worry about. Boom. Alright. If auth attempt. Hold on a sec. Namespace controllers. Name equals name. And password is equal to password. Hmm. Question is, am I even doing the right thing here? Let's find out. Let's make sure that this Laravel. My first time doing this here. So redirect home. Let's give that a shot. Alright, let's refresh. Oh, hey, something went wrong. Controllers off. Yeah, that's the one I'm using. Okay, let's see if that was what caused the problem. It is. Alright. Oh, derp. Okay. I was like, what do you mean it does not exist? It's like right there. Username, password. Alright. We want to rerun the seed. Alright. Refresh just in case. Admin. Oh, the routes, the routes, the routes. Can't forget the routes because I changed the parameters that it's expecting. So edit, local app, HTTP, I think it's route. Oh, it's just routes. Okay. Maybe that's it. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Log in. Something went wrong. We don't have our developer tools. Alright, inspect. Well, alright. Alright, admin. Okay. That was a post. Clear. Well, that's weird. It was recording. Okay. Alright, that looks good. Did it not work? Excuse me. Okay. There we go. Clear. Oh, yeah. Did it not execute a post? Why is this? Okay, that is a post. Required URL. Weird. Okay, let's see if that method's even being called at all. Alright. Oops. Admin test 1, 2, 3, 4. That method is not even being called. So we have it in the wrong place. Let's see. Okay. Let's, before we start mucking around with things, let's go ahead. We're going to modify the seed. We're going to use a test email address. I just want to get this working and then we can monkey around with it. Database seeder, user, there we go. Email admin at test.com. I wonder if anybody actually owns a test.com. It's probably got a lot of emails from developers testing their thing. So, alright. So, Shift R, force a refresh. Alright. Oh, we need a seed. And then, yeah, remember me. Boom. I'm logged in. Alright. Sure. And this will log us out. Yay. Alright. Okay. Dashboard. Huh. Alright, so how do we get it to authenticate the username? As I don't want to have to force people to put in. Well, on the other hand, maybe we should, because it might be worthwhile to force people to put in their email addresses when they register for the game, so that if they lose their passwords, they don't have to bug the admin to reset their account for them. They can have it set themselves. The caveat being, of course, is that the local server also has to be set up, configured correctly for email. Um, yeah, we'll use email. I think it'll just be easier that way. Okay, so that settles that. Um, I do want to make some changes here really quick. So layouts.app, this calls the layout. This is for the login page. I kind of want, well, I don't know. Local app, HTTP. Oh no, it's just resources. Or maybe it is HTTP resources. I was in the wrong directory. Alright. Views, layouts, app. Alright. Let's see. Okay. And that's where the content is displayed. Um, let's bring up the home. And let's bring up the index landing page. Ah, alright. Yeah, alright, so MD offset 1. Ow! Oh, I learned something. What happens if I remove this? I think I know what this does. God, you think you know something and then you find out you didn't really know it. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. So, huh, there is a MD. Or there's an offset for, um, actually, um, hmm. I kind of want this in the app. Because this top level stuff here, it's going to be the same no matter what. Is there an error message? I believe there is. Resources, views. Alright, there's errors. Let's cat errors. .503, huh? That must be for when the site is disabled. And what's an auth? Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay. So there's a handful of files that we're going to need to modify. Do I really care though? Probably not. Because I'm probably going to regret making that decision at some point. Putting the top level divs from into here, from here, so everything up to this div layer. Because I kind of want all of that to be the same across all the pages. Error, login, whatever. But there might be some instances. Yeah, there are going to be some exceptions now I think about it. So okay, we'll keep these in the views instead of putting them in the layout. All right, I think what we're probably going to want to do next is how is Laravel compared to Yi2? Ask Scafuni. Sorry, I didn't even see your message there. I haven't really played with Yi 2. I've only version of Yi that I played around with was Yi version 1, and that was at my last contracting gig. I think well, I can compare Laravel to Yi 1, and Laravel is vastly superior. But since I haven't played with the newest version of Yi, which supposedly takes care of some of the shortcomings of Yi version 1, um, I can't make a valid comparison just because of lack of experience. Laravel is kind of like in my top three so far. I still have a soft spot in my heart for Symfony. That's been kind of like the first framework that I learned, and I kind of like that one. Cake PHP is pretty good. The newest version of that is pretty slick. Code Igniter, haven't really played around with that yet, but I like it. I like its less is more approach. I got a notification here, just checking it out. Oh, somebody deleted a link. Oh well. Okie dokie. So what I need to do is I need to start. Let's bring up our app here because we're going to really app layout. What is app layout? So we're gonna kind of go through the style with a fine tooth comb. So app layout. Hold on a sec. Drexel CSS less. I don't have any less. That's weird. Is that one of those weird things? Uh, Star.less. Why is this telling me that there are scaffolding.less? What? Okay, where is this coming from? Oh, was I meant to close that? Ah, elements. Clear. Don't need to record. Let's do this again. Laravel. Okay. It's a bootstrap thing. Okay, I see what's going on here. Yeah, alright. Yeah, I don't like it when. Well, I suppose it's necessary. I mean, Chrome is just doing its best to try to present to you the source code as it's in the best way possible. But then you're like going, where is that file coming from? I don't have it in my file system. It's not even being requested as a whatever. Okay, never mind. Let's log in, log in, log out. Nice. You know what? I think I'm just gonna call this guy admin since we're forcing the email address logins now. We can be fancy. All right. Oops. PHP artisan db seed. All right. Yay. Okay, that was a little nicer. All right. So okay, we don't got any styles that are being explicitly set for the body. That's good. That's really what I cared about. Let's go to the next level down. All right, inspect element. Oh, we still got it. All right. Kind of like the idea of a nav bar. Container, nav bar header. A collapsed hamburger. Where is that? Yeah, it doesn't even show. I've always wondered about that. Doesn't show it. Okay. Oh, I can override those. Sweet. Okay, navbar default. Let's go to abjad CSS, and usually how I like to handle this is I don't. Uh, so yeah, navbar default. Background color. Let's call it. Trying to think here. What color do I want? I want kind of a dark blue. So let's just say 3A. Oops, sorry. 38. And border color a little bit brighter. So we're going to go with, how about 20, 20. Let's just go 40, 60. There we go. That should change this guy's color. Great, 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 great. Okay. Yeah, it's a good color blue, but we gotta change this guy too. Navbar default color. Alright. Well, first of all, I need it brighter than that. It's not taking effect, but so we'll go way bright. B F. Okay, maybe a little bit brighter than that. It's a touch purple for my taste, but we'll see what it looks like once we actually get it to work. All right. Where is that getting unset? Oops. That's a comma. All right. It's still getting set. Yeah, I mean it. You know what? Instead of mucking around with this, sec. Inspect that guy really quick too. Navbar default navbar. How is that overriding this? Well, it is inherited, so this is probably explicitly being set. Maybe I should learn how to use lesson gulp. As I have a sinking suspicion what I'm trying to do is kind of sketchy. That might not be a bad idea. Alright, what I'm going to do really quick. Bring up OBS here. I'm going to set up a quick break thing. Oh, I never did set up my video. Oops. Why, hello. Yeah. Forgot to set up the video. Okay, I'll be right back. Let's see. Let's do it really quick here. Bootstrap, changing defaults, override defaults. Okay. Alright, now I know what I need to do. Okay. I'm like, let's go ahead and close that. Get back to network. Show you elements. Alright. So we got to go into here, find out how this is going. So navbar default navbar branding. I think this is, yeah. Okay. Boom. Now with the hover state, hover. So I have to add these two inside. Okay. Man, kind of a pain in the butt. Okay. Are these? Oh, yeah. Right. Yank. Paste. Something's not right here. Is that how I do it? I think I might be trying to include less. Alright, so refresh. Oops. Active, hover, focus visited. Alright. Okay, why did it suddenly stop working? Okay, we got that far. Okay, and now it's back to working again, at least until we try to hover. And you know what? We're going to CSS. Target elements with multiple selectors. Okay. This is not what I'm looking for. Oh, I hate that. Oh, multiple states. Okay. This is not what I'm looking for. Alright. Define multiple clauses of hover event. Nope. State rules. Okay. Let's try this. Obviously, Google's not helping. Oh, that didn't work either. What do I have to do to I know I can probably just do this. Like this, right? V, J, 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 yank. And we'll just paste, alright? And then we can say hover. And then we go in here, boom. That works. But it just seems kind of ridiculous that I have to have like multiple lines for each one of these. And if I do, yeah. It just seems really weird that CSS doesn't let me put those into the same line. That's what I'm trying to figure out. And I'm trying to see if anybody else is trying to do the same thing. I suppose I can just... Problem is like the default CSS has all these explicitly defined no matter what. Let's do 3F. 5F. Color, we want to brighten it up a little bit, so maybe FF? I like that. Yeah, that works. I'm a little lukewarm on this, but let's get the rest of this all working before we worry about that. So, .nav bar dash default. I don't think I need border colors for these guys. Hey, look at that. Now we can see this. Much better, much better. Okay. Now we're back to productivity land. instead of like trying to figure out how to do basic shit. But that's neither here nor there. Oh, and now we got to define these. And according to the documentation, the reason why ours is getting overridden, even though we're including our CSS before or after the regular CSS, is that specific CSS overrides general CSS, so inherited CSS. So this is specific. So even though this was defined earlier than my CSS, it's still taking precedence. So we got to go here. Yeah. So navbar nav slash li slash a. Navbar nav. And we're going to give it hover. Hey, look at that. All right. I think that is the active state. Yeah. Nope. That's not active. Is that focus? That is focus. Okay. And that should probably do the trick. That did not do the trick. Okay. Boom. That's that's looking good. Oh, I see why, because the element structure's changed. So navbar default dot open a. Smell breakfast cooking, so that might mean. Ah, damn it. Alright. Navbar default. Navbar nav. Open A. A hover. And A focus. Oh, they say it can be separated by commas. Aha, there we go. Okay, something goofy's going on here. What? So it's after. Nope, that didn't work. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go check out status breakfast. I can kind of smell sausages cooking, so I'm either is either cooking or I missed breakfast. So I'll be right back. Alright. Alright. So bring back tier. Okay, actually don't need that. That's right, okay. That I don't get. Why? Okay, that, I think I know where that's coming from. But where is that coming from? Why is it default to that dark text? Ah, it's so weird. Alright, let's see. Inspect. Alright, let's try all the different classes here. Active, no. Hover, that's fine. Focus. And then visited. Focus. Ah. Maybe that's what it was. Okay, that fixes that problem. And now, you need to fix that problem. And that doesn't even show up in the style sheets. Where is that coming from? Is that maybe just the default? Is it maybe active? Let's find out. That was it. Okay, hey, look at that. We figured that out. Um, Okay, and these can be all grouped together. And that could be grouped together with this. Now, this might bite me later on if I do decide I want to differentiate these slightly somehow or another, but I can just then, at a later date, take these out of here, or take one of these out of here, and then create its own little class for that, so I don't have to worry about that too much. Here, yep. I actually wonder if this is even necessary. Alright. Because these are going to override this anyway, so let's find out. We'll make sure that... Alright, that all looks good. That looks good as well. Great. Let's take it out. I bet you it'll still look the same. Does not. Okay, I need it for that guy. That's the deal. Alright. Oh, it's because that's the navbar brand div. That's right. Okay. Okay, everything looks hunky-dory now. And it's relatively compact CSS too. So this is good because if I do want to make a slight adjustment to one of these, I don't have to modify it like 500 different places. Awesome. Okay. And for consistency, we're going to do that. I think I'm going to do that for all these just simply because, like, if I have multiple things, then I don't have to radically change the structure. Um, Not sure about this color, but we'll worry about that later. Next thing is we're going to do this. Inspect. What is that? That is from boom, boom, boom. Okay, so it's background color. It's just drop down menu. Sweet. So I could probably just add that here. Um, I did that. All right. Let's see if that did the trick. I have a something went wrong. Let's see. Oh man, what? All right. Oh, hover's not working. That's what's going to be. Hover. And focus. Okay. Was that just caching? That was kind of wild. You know what? Um, uh, yeah, make that background a little bit lighter. Just keep consistent. So let's try 5F. A little bit goes a long way when it comes to brightening things, especially backgrounds. So, boom. A little bit too much, maybe. A bit too blue, or maybe 1F. Try that. Just kind of brighten it overall. I like that. It's a little bit softer. Ironically, increasing the red and the green channels created less. Well, it created less contrast, is what basically happened here. So the blue didn't quite stick out nearly as much, but I like that. Yeah, it's not too showy. It just has been pretty straightforward. Hey, this is a thing that you are going to select if you select me, and we don't have it for these guys because they're just there. So okay, all right. Style sheet for the nav bar stuff is completed. Alright, let's go ahead and check that in to Git. So I'm sort of thinking breakfast is going to be in about 20 minutes. I say that as it's 1:15. Where did the time go? Holy crap. Um, Why was that file not tracked? That seems really weird. Oh, because I copied it over. I haven't checked in a while. Alright, git add, boom. Git commit -m. Edit user table seeder. Modified CSS. Normally, I'm not a big fan of pushing two separate changes like that, but I actually just didn't care. Well, now that we got all that done, let's see. Like, that was easy. Might have to change the color of this border here. Panel default, panel heading. Okay. And down here, inspect. Okay, why is that grayed out? I'm confused. Oh, I know what I need to do. Boom. Alright. There we go. Now it's starting to look a little closer. Now we got this border thing going on here. So panel default border color. Okay, we may need to brighten that up just a touch. Background color. 337. Not bad, not bad. There's that thing in the middle. Is it like a border top property, something like that? Or a border bottom? Much better. Out of curiosity, is that even necessary? Probably is. It is. This gets overridden down here anyway, so I'm not worried about it. Okay, well, I think that's it. We got ourselves a pretty solid start to the styling. Might have to change the borders for these a little bit because that does look a little dark. I got a few minutes here. Let's go ahead inspect. Does that even have a border? I'll just say drop down menu and we'll add that there too. Oh yeah, yeah, that worked. Great. Kind of how it like overlays that a little bit. That's pretty sweet. I like it. I like it. We can probably tweak the colors just a touch to be a little less, I don't know, but I think this is the general color scheme that I'm going for. I'm kind of happy with the layout of the CSS file because now if I need to make a change, I can just change one spot instead of like 3,000 spots. So that's going to help a lot. Overriding Bootstrap can be a bit of a pain because you have to be really explicit. You have to like nail down to the element level because Bootstrap does that, and if you don't do it at the same level that Bootstrap does, your CSS is not going to override. So this is kind of necessary just because how Bootstrap does its thing. All right, but I think I'm going to end the stream now. This is going to conclude the stream. We got quite a few views, not too bad. Oh, a phone interview. I got a phone interview. I say at 2 p.m. Oh, they use DST. It's supposed to be EDT. Yeah, well, this is at 1 p.m. CST for me. That's right, they're based out of New York. This is for the developer position. Details be sent once you confirm availability. Thanks. And it's a phone interview. Jeez. I had to do the phone screening yesterday, and that was like a 10-minute thing. And then um, I had wait to get this email, and I was like kind of like nervous because I'm like, when are they gonna send this email? And I didn't get it yet. Yes, I didn't get it yesterday, so I'm like overnight. I'm like kind of tense and nervous, and now they just finally sent the email about a half an hour ago. So good. Hooray for interview. Sweet. Things are moving along. I should probably either this afternoon or tomorrow probably apply to at least one or two more places because a couple of places I applied to turned out to be duds. Either the position they didn't have the budget for the position, which is weird because they had the job opening listed. Why was there no budget? And various other reasons. So, and I got to get a hold of this one guy too. So I'm going to do that really quick. I got to give him a call, see what the deal with this one job that I applied for about a week ago is going on. But thank you for watching. Um, I'd love to end the stream on a high note, and appreciate y'all watching the stream. Um, for those who stuck around. These programming streams tend to be hit and miss. Sometimes I'll have like a lot of activity on the Twitch stream and on the Twitch chat, and other days I don't have anything. And I'll have like maybe two people join the stream. Comes and goes. Yeah, do what you do. Alrighty, folks. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. I will be on later for Dwarf Fortress, so if you want to subscribe on Twitch, I am Zalasur, Zalasur, and I will be playing some Dwarf Fortress streaming later on.